Hey peoples, welcome to another review channel. This is not another movie review. Sorry I've been away for a while. The world has just been going crazy, so I've kind of been distracted with that. But anyway, I wanted to make this video because of what is going on in the movie world. If you don't know, for some reason, a lot of big budget movies have been pushed back and they are delayed from releasing because movie theaters are closed, and it's all because of the virus. And the big ones that got moved back were No Time to Die, A Quiet Place Part 2, Peter Rabbit 2, which I personally don't care anything about. The first one wasn't that great, so I don't understand why I got a sequel, probably because of kids, and Fast and Furious 9, which again, I don't really care about, and that one actually is very weird to me and kind of interesting because most movies, they said they were just postponing it or delaying it. For Fast and Furious, they just said we're postponing it till next year. They jumped a whole year. Now my conspiracy theory in my mind is that the movie wasn't actually done, like maybe they had a couple of CGI things to fix or just to tune up here and there, and so they were like, let's just push it to next year so we can add in all of these space and moon scenes or whatever the heck they're putting in these movies nowadays. But those are the big ones, and there are a couple of other movies that got delayed as well. So what people have started to do is tweet at and request that the movie studio release the movies online. And I've seen this request / suggestion a lot on Twitter. Just release the movies online, it'll do just as well. Every single day the same question. Why don't they just release the movies online? And it's pretty much a simple answer. Money. They would not, and I repeat, would not make the same amount of money if they released a movie online versus in theaters. Why not, you ask? It's pretty simple. It's less transactions. So, for an example, there are 5 people in my family. When we go out to the movies, that is 5 separate transactions. If we stay at home and rent a movie, that is 1 transaction. And obviously, that's less money for the studio. Very simple example right there. But there are also other factors that add to the success of a movie releasing in theaters. For instance, movies are different prices. You got matinee prices, midday prices, night prices. Also, movies come in different formats. You have 3D, Dolby Atmos, IMAX, 4DX, and whatever other premium experience theaters are showing movies in nowadays. Also, prices range drastically from location to location. The same movie can be playing in 2 different theaters, and I pay $8 in one theater, but $18 in another theater. And also you have to think about repeat viewings. How many movies have you gone to see in theaters more than once? Let's say you go with your family for the first time, and then the second time you might go out on a date or maybe with friends who haven't seen the movie yet. You're going to go see the movie multiple times because it's an event, it's an experience, it's fun to go in a group. And so that's more transactions between you and the studio, buying more tickets, spending more money. Studios are focused on the number of transactions, not necessarily the number of people watching their movie. And that leads me into my next point, because people were also saying, well, if they want to make a profit, they can just charge $50 per watch, so there you go, they can make their money back. Well, that's not going to happen. They're not going to make their money back, and there are a few reasons as to why this wouldn't work. First off, let's remember that you are renting this movie. That's what going to the movies basically is. You're renting the experience, and after people rent the experience, they might purchase the movie later on in their life when it becomes available on DVD or streaming on demand or something like that. How would it make sense for a studio to charge $50 to rent a movie and then you pay $25 to buy that same movie later on? Why wouldn't people just wait to purchase the movie, because then it would be a lot cheaper than renting it for just a limited amount of time? If I buy it, I keep it for forever, I can watch it as many times as I want. If I rent it for $50, I gotta watch it as many times as possible in whatever time span they allot me. And you might be thinking, well, maybe people don't wanna wait to buy the movie because you have super fans. You got Marvel super fans, you got Star Wars super fans, you have Disney super fans, you have Pixar super fans, DC super fans, all of these super fans who are like, I have to watch the movie as soon as it's available. Yeah, that's true. I guess some people will pay $50 to watch a movie as soon as it's available. But here's the thing. Everyone isn't going to pay $50. There's a drastic difference between paying $50 to rent a movie versus $20 a ticket to go see it on a big screen. And again, that's less transactions for the studio. But let's dive into that scenario for a second. Let's say there are some people that do pay $50 to rent this movie. Do you actually think they're going to watch it alone? No. They're going to invite friends and family over. If you're going to pay that much for a movie, you're not going to watch it alone. And maybe those friends and family will actually chip in to help pay for the film, because it is $50 in this example. And once again, that's less transactions for the studio. And also another thing to think about is that pirating movies would be so easy now. Imagine instead of having to sneak in a camera to record a movie in a theater, you can just rent it at home without worrying about someone coming up and seeing you and kicking you out the theater, and then you can just sell it online. It'll make bootlegging a lot easier, and that will obviously hurt the studio. But moving on, the last thing I want to talk about is Universal. So Deadline recently reported that Universal is going to release a sequel to Trolls in theaters and on VOD on the same day. They also said they were going to release Invisible Man, The Hunt, and Emma on demand for rental sooner rather than later. Now, if you've never heard of any of these movies, they recently came out in theaters within the past month. Of course, usually you would not see these on demand for a very long time because they have to go through their cycle in theaters, then maybe overseas, then you have the DVD sales, and then they allow you to rent it online. So this will be a lot faster for the consumer from theater actually to in your home. In the article, it said they would maybe charge $19.99 for a 48-hour rental. That doesn't fully make sense to me because it costs so much. And I even saw a couple of people tweet, they're not going to pay the price of owning something just to rent it. So again, I don't understand what the plan is there. But back to Trolls World Tour. I was writing the essay for this video as the news broke that they were releasing this movie in theaters and video on demand on the same day. And it kind of made me pause because I didn't understand the studio's plan. It's been proven that video on demand does not make as much as a theatrical release. And I'm assuming the price of video on demand won't be the same as like the proposed $19.99 that they're doing for the other movies because those have already had their theatrical run, and this will be coming out the same day on video on demand as it will in theaters. So I assume the price will be a lot higher. So I'm really intrigued about what's happening there. The only logical thing I could think of why they would do this is because they don't think the movie's that good. Usually a studio knows that they have a bad movie. Sadly, a lot of times they come to this realization after they finish the movie and they have to put it out anyway to try to make some of their money back, but they usually know when they have a bad movie. Maybe they think they have a bad film and that it won't make that much money, so why not release it online as well? But it's still a kids movie and it will make a lot of money, so I don't understand the logic here. Now, I'm not a parent, but in my house we have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. If I had kids, they would have a lot of content to watch. So I wouldn't be able to justify in my mind of paying a premium price in order to watch a theatrical release at home when my kids already have enough content to entertain them. Now, I'm personally speaking for me as an average person. I'm not a super rich person who wouldn't mind throwing money at a studio to pay for the comfort of watching a movie in my house that just got released in theaters, but that's just me. I'd personally wait for it to reach streaming services or something like Redbox. But again, that's just me. But what would you do? Do you have kids? Would you pay a premium price so they can watch Trolls World Tour at home? Please let me know. Even if you don't have kids and you're just interested in this movie because you like the first Trolls, would you pay a premium price to watch that movie in your house the same day it releases in theaters? I really want to know because I stand by everything I said in this video, and this movie is going to either, I guess, justify what I said or go against it, and maybe it'll be a huge hit at home and people are paying a bunch of money to watch movies in their house. I don't know. But anyway, that's all, peoples. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Whatever. God bless. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later.